Violence and the threat of violence rode the nation's highways today as Greyhound resumed limited bus service in the midst of a bitter strike. Police listed more than 100 arrests around the country. Frank Courier reports.
To some, it is strike-breaking, and it is ugly, as hostilities flared at dawn today outside many big city Greyhound terminals nationwide. In Boston, more than 200 striking bus drivers tangled with police, hurling rocks and lying down in an effort to block the first bus from rolling out. There were scores of arrests as picketers coast to coast launched a campaign of intimidation.
Anyone who gets on the bus takes their lives in their own hands. We're not responsible for whoever's on those buses.
Indeed, it seemed that way in Seattle, where 200 strikers were beating on the buses, an attempt to frighten non-union drivers off the road.
I don't take the job, somebody else will.
And with no progress towards settling the 15-day-old strike, it was a signal, too, to passengers that Greyhound's half-price fare offer may not be worth the risk.
They would not think of going to a doctor who was a high school graduate. Why should they ride down today's superhighways, interstate highways, and risk their lives with these untrained scab drivers? That's right. Come out.
In Philadelphia, a throng of jeering picketers succeeded in blocking the first scheduled bus, prompting Greyhound lawyers to seek a court injunction limiting the number of picketers.
We aren't here to take this. We're here just to show the world that we are unified in what we believe in, and that's unions. Unions, unions.
In Florida, a bomb threat forced a handful of passengers off a bus between Miami and Jacksonville.
Should have taken Trailways. Oh, wow. Next time, right?
Here in Milwaukee and other cities, security was tight at the bus terminal. Not because we expect violence, the company said, but rather for the peace of mind of passengers.
Still, in most cities, there were few passengers. The buses were running nearly empty, and nearly always with a security escort on the open road. Greyhound management is not discouraged by today's ridership. But with profitable holiday travel just ahead, the union is gambling that a picket line strategy of fear and harassment will have an impact for weeks to come, worth valuable points at the bargaining table. Frank Courier, CBS News, Chicago.